Am I the asshole for feeling like it's not my job to make sure all the kids at my ex's house have just as much as our two sons? I, 32M, have two sons, 10 and 8, with my ex-girlfriend. Our relationship ended 7 years ago, and since then we have shared custody of our two kids. What this looks like is every other week during the school year, then every 2 weeks during summer break. Up until last year, all expenses for the kids were split evenly among us. This changed in April of last year because she was struggling to afford all the kids in her household, our two, plus her stepdaughter and her baby daughter. She wanted child support, but instead I took over certain expenses instead, and the judge agreed it was fair. I pay for medical and dental expenses, and she no longer has to pay half. Our younger is on regular meds, so this does alleviate the strain on her significantly because medical expenses were pretty costly every month even with insurance. This was apparently not enough to make things equal between all the kids, and my ex and her husband have complained that my sons have a better quality of life overall than their stepsister, who's 7, and their half-sister, who is 15 months old. My ex is currently pregnant again, so another child will be joining their household in the next few months. There were fights about summer camp because our boys are going this summer, but my ex and her husband cannot afford to send his daughter. Before, the summer camp issue was a field trip issue. They feel like I could share the cost or gift the experience to this little girl so she can have the same experiences as my sons. My ex's husband told me I should feel responsible for ensuring all kids have just as much as my sons do. I asked him why I would be responsible for that, and he told me for the benefit of my boys. He told me a decent person would do everything to make sure all the kids in a family are given the same leg up in life. I told him that's something he should be doing as he's the person who blended his family with my ex's and I did not. I told him he should be embarrassed to ask me to pay for his children to have a good life. My ex tried to convince me of this too, but I ignored her and then had my lawyer reach out and state we would move all contact to our family wizard. In return, she tried to sue me for child support, or she looked into it, but she was told that would not be likely because financially it would not be considered a requirement when I pay more for our children already per last year's amended court order. I have been consistent about using the app, but my ex still brings up the topic of making things fair and equal for the other children in her home. I have replied once on there stating I will continue to support our two children, but not hers. For now, she is keeping it all to the app, thankfully. I don't exactly feel guilty about this, but I had wondered if people would find me a little petty maybe for my hard stance on this. I could afford to help, but choose not to, and I know the kids are innocent of all the issues between the adults. That's basically the only reason I'll ask, am I the asshole?